It's Wednesday, my dudes! And before we celebrate the 4th, we are going to celebrate a toy photographer who has done some incredible work with Star Wars, with Batman, and even some Ninja Turtles. Please welcome Visual Approach Photo to the show. We got a lot going on, and the fire's getting hot. Matt, get the intro! Get the intro! What could possibly go wrong, he said. That's what he said.
I ran to get my goggles. And I was like, should I put them on? And yeah.
Fire safety, put them on. What could possibly go wrong, he said, as he told his wife he was going to light sparklers inside the house. We made it. Nothing caught fire. And, you know.
I was going to say you should have turned on your smoke ninja.
Oh.
And then have it in the background. You know.
Yeah. All right, next time. We'll do it next time. So, but it is Wednesday, my dudes, and welcome to episode 78 of Between Two Sentinels, the show that continues to show up because you guys deemed it worthy to, and can't say thank you enough for that. I, of course, am Jay Shot, the guy who almost set his house on fire, for a funny little intro for you. And this is Machu, who's also here.
It's just sparklers. Nobody's gonna.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely burnt something because it smells, but it's okay. As long as I didn't burn my Boyd. What's new with you, Machu?
A bunch of stuff. Well, toys wise, I mean.
Yeah.
I got the Luke Cage and Iron Fist 2-pack, which I really dig. Shout out to Diggs Figs for
nice. For your mankind.
And the classic Eddie Guerrero.
Nice.
And then I got the Astonishing Wolverine, which I had to mod.
You've been modifying, yeah. You've give it a boot swivel.
Yeah. It was lacking the boot swivel, so I had to rip off that boot and make it swivel.
There you go. Rip it off, make it swivel.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing for that. So, like a moil with a tip jar. Let that sink in. Anyway.
What's up with you? Besides
setting the house on fire? Well, I mean, you and I went
have any smoke detectors down there.
Smoke detectors down here, which is good and bad. I've been playing with this guy, the old knockoff Laser Man, which has been a lot of fun. So I've been playing with him a lot, and of course, still reeling over our weekend at what is it, Undiscovered Realm Comic-Con where we went to?
Yes.
So I think I showed this off on our Monday stream, but hell, it's worth showing again. So here is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original VHS tape that I had as a kid, signed by all 4 actors, including Ernie Reyes down here, who played Donatello. But my favorite part about this is the fact that, I kept the Pizza Hut coupons. And if you look here, 2 free toppings with purchase of 2 medium cheese pizzas for $10.99. And that's not $10.99 each. That's 2 pizzas for $10.99. Now, unfortunately, there's no Pizza Huts around here, and this did expire in December of 31st of 1991. So no good anymore. But, still a good time to be had by all at that con. And, of course, we shared it with Dom and his brother Danny. Nice try. And we met in White Rebel.
What are you talking about? So, Dave was there the whole time.
Yeah, not Dave. Dave's not here, man. But yeah, it was good. It was a good weekend. And of course, Monday we had the Countdown to San Diego Comic-Con stream, which was great. It was us and Cheney and Toy Father, which is awesome.
That's why I was a little thrown off today. I'm like, wait, didn't we just stream?
We did just stream. We did. Did you? And you didn't jump on last night, right? I know. Oh no, Toy Father and Yimbo were on with the Migos last night.
It was mostly Yimbo.
Yeah.
Mostly Yimbo.
Yeah. Well, Yimbo's got some catching up.
But Toy Father.
But yeah. So, all right. Should we check in with the chat? See what's going on here?
Yeah.
See definitely. Who's here. I imagine a lot of people are already off celebrating, but we're gonna have a really good time tonight. So I'm sure they'll all catch up on the old replay. Toy Addict is here. He's claiming first. Don't anybody tell Berserk. And he says, "Happy Wednesday, fellas." Dom is here saying, follow that road where 2 lanes become 3. Venture beyond the trees in a parking lot is what you'll see. These were the directions we were given by Dom. Dom, the Riddler, is how he gives directions. He's like, look for the trees. And we're like, what trees?
There's trees everywhere.
Trees everywhere. Josh Brown says the best Wednesday is when you are off Thursday. That is true. We should go. We should just go all night and, see what happens. Maybe we'll transfer to the old toy daddies. What do they got going on tonight?
I don't even know if they're on.
Oh, I think they're on tonight. It's Toy Father and Yimbo. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure he posted something.
Probably be done before 11.
That's true. Mild Manner Reporter says, ain't that the truth? We had Dom says J-Shot has been practicing with Sir Dork. I wish, man. But Sir Dork retains the title of most dangerous man in toy photography. Captain McKay Random is here saying, what's up, everybody? Definite crackhead energy lighting off the sparklers inside, I think, does count. Man, Beast Boy is here saying, what's up, my dudes? We got Darth Primus saying, sup, everybody. And there's Toy Father saying, hey, dudes. Steve Waring that I almost boinked my Boyd. Boinked my Boyd. Hurt my turts. Burnt my Boyd. There you go.
Don't hurt the turts.
Don't hurt the turts. Happy 4th day weekend. Fire 2-pack plus Eddie wants. There you go. Plus Eddie wants. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. Contact Dirk. Not Dirk. Diggs. Oh, yeah, that's right. Aren't they going with Diggs tonight? Oh, no. Toy Addict and Unworthy have Diggs Figs on. They're going to be doing a Friday show, and they usually do a Thursday.
Oh.
So just a heads up on that. So everybody tune in on Friday. Captain McKay says, Astonishing Logan is looking good. Loving that Eddie. Is it good? The Eddie's good?
Eddie's good. Eddie's good.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Mullet and all.
Mullet and all. Shout out to Diggs for allowing me into his Jada pipeline. There you go. Mild Manner Reporter says, got to get Corey Feldman on there, Jay. The Frog Brothers. If he's around, man, I'd be happy to get everybody to sign it. I miss Judith. I miss Judith on there. But next time. KJ Smith is in the house. Steve says, I stream from a small rug to my commode. Okay. Might want to get that stream checked. And Josh says they are posted it late. And Dom says, I thought you said hurt your turds. No, my turts. Don't hurt my turts. Oh, there you go. And there's Eddie Guerrero. What does it say on his shirt? I can't even read it. That's how bad my
Eddie
eyes
Guerrero is my favorite wrestler.
Oh, he's wearing his own shirt that says that?
Yep.
And you said I couldn't wear J-Shot's my favorite streamer. What the hell, man? What the hell?
Make it happen. Speaking of shirts, are you?
I didn't know you wanted me to show it off, but I do have it ready just in case because I'm a professional. There it is, hot off the presses. Our brand new San Diego Comic-Con merch that we will have available in San Diego. Limited run. Limited run. This one's mine, so don't worry. Unless you want a pre-snip shirt, that costs extra. You gotta charge it for that. So anyway, yeah. But there you go. 796 is here, says, who hurt your turds? Not you. Not you. You're not a monster, and you've said that. Did you pick up Mezco Casey? I did not, Steve. I did not pick up Mezco Casey. I am taking a gamble on him. I'm going to try to grab him at SDCC at the Mezco booth.
I picked him up.
You picked him up. So there you go. Yeah. There's a backup there.
Yeah.
Forgot Casey went up and totally missed. I'm sure he'll come back. Okay. I feel like they had a limited number, so I'm sure they'll come back, and I'm sure that there's going to be an overstock in San Diego. But do I buy the shirt or get a blank CD? If you buy the CD, I'll sign it for you. There you go. Anywho, we could keep this tomfoolery up all night, but maybe we should bring in our guest. You want to bring in our guest?
Let's bring in our guest.
Let's bring in our guest. Let's say hello to Sean, everybody. What's up, Sean?
What up?
Good evening.
You got a pyrotechnic intro today. Not many people can say they had that on the show. Actually, you're the first.
It's an honor and a privilege.
It's something, I'll tell you that. We'll see how the rest of the night goes. But hey, man, great. Look, it is a long time coming getting you on the show. We had been talking about having you on since we met up in Legions Con almost a year ago at this point. So thank you for answering my DM 6 to 8 months later. I appreciate that. I'm always appreciative of people that answer my DMs. But yeah, man, what you been up to? What's going on?
Not much. The school year's over, so hitting the reset button a little bit and trying to find that balance between work, kids, and hobbies. And it's great. Started a couple of small builds for some shots, and bought more figures than I need. So right in my sweet spot there.
right, my sweet spot. When you said school was over, I was like, oh, it's cool. Like he's going back to school. He must be like a junior or something in high school. And I didn't realize you were talking about your kids. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm an old man. I should get my AARP card pretty soon. So.
Hey, you get discounts with that. It's like, Denny's gives you a discount for 4:30 dinner, I think. So, you want to get that.
What about
for sure.
toys?
That's about the time I eat it. So, yeah.
Do you get discounts for toys?
That's what they should work on. I don't
Right?
need discounted coffee or movie tickets.
Speaking of toys and AARP, you'll see where I'm going with this. Macho, you sent me the Axel Foley Netflix commercial with Shaq, which I absolutely love. Sean, did you see this? I don't know. Can we play that without getting in trouble, you think?
Oh, I don't think we could play that.
I can play it without the sound, maybe?
I don't know.
All right. Well, all right. We won't play
You need the sound on that one, too.
That's true. You need the sound. But we were just talking about that. I mean, I know that there was an article that came out a little while ago saying that adults have officially surpassed kids as the #1 toy buyers. And I know we've talked about this for a while with the kidults. I think it's crazy that it's taken them so long to realize that adults have more money than toddlers. I mean, toddlers can't work, right? Like, so it's ridiculous. Of course we buy more toys. Although, like I do say, child labor is better than child unemployment. We got to keep that down. So,
Stop it.
but yeah, dude, like I love seeing these kind of like action figure integrations into mainstream media and stuff like that. I mean, it's really been awesome. Like, what's been your take on, like, what was your take when you saw that commercial?
I was hoping that you would have the opportunity to play it. I haven't seen the Axel Foley Shaq commercial.
All right, we'll kick you out. We'll send it to you. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
I saw the trailer for the movie, but I didn't see the tie-in.
It's great. There's like, I'll describe it to you in full detail. Buckle up. No, it starts with kids playing with these like Beverly Hills Cop action figures, and then of course Shaquille O'Neal comes in and takes over and says, "These are for me," and I'm going to start playing. It's a great. I won't ruin it. There's a couple like really great one-liners in there, and it's like adults play better with toys, and it's so funny. But it was like, yeah, we're gonna start to see more integration of this stuff. And Yimbo, who's in the chat now, was always saying that we're like, that niche market that is just starting to really expand out. I mean, you think about it now. You've seen State Farm use it right in the Super Bowl. You're seeing the Axel Foley with Netflix. I think it's a great move. It's a great move. More opportunity for us to get paid too to do this stuff. Just like our good friend Trevor, who's in the chat here, who's doing it professionally. So, and don't forget to change your calendar over. If you got your 1/6 shooter calendar, change it from April to July, because that's what I did today, and that's why I made that PSA. You got to use
April
all
to
12 months.
July.
Yeah, April to July. Why do you think I made the PSA? It wasn't, but. Yeah, go if you don't have one, go check out. You can still got 6 months to use it, so pick up Trevor's calendar. So anyway, enough about this stuff, Sean. Besides being a dad and a toy photographer and a chauffeur driving your kids all over to sporting events, you said you're working on some stuff for a shot. What can you divulge? What are you sharing? What do you got?
Oh, happy to share. So I'm making it's actually a gravestone. That I'm incorporating an old Ray figure. I like those kind of ornate stone carved kind of gravestones. I'm actually I'll tell you what the shot is. Doesn't care. Somebody else can try it too. I've always loved the idea of, and I think this was a deleted scene from the original RoboCop, where RoboCop goes to the grave of Alex Murphy. So I'm really excited about doing something kind of in that vein. Nice. Like a poster style shot of him paying his respects to himself. Yeah. So looking forward to trying that.
Speaking of Alex Murphy, did you pick up that figure from NECA or no?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. I don't have a ton of RoboCop stuff. I have the RoboCop 2 Mafex figure. I have the NECA Ultimate RoboCop, and I have the Ultimate Alex Murphy.
Nice.
I would love to eventually finally pick up a 6 scale Hot Toys
Ooh.
RoboCop, the RoboCop 3 one that just came out, which is basically perfect in my opinion.
Does that come with the jetpack?
Yeah, it does come with the jetpack. Yeah, but it looks like it has the Peter Weller faceplates from the other RoboCop releases, so it doesn't look like the other actor. It actually looks like the original RoboCop actor.
Interesting.
Nice.
Cool.
And I just finished the X-Wing repaint, which I've been posting pictures of.
Yeah, dude, that looks awesome.
Which I actually have here.
There you go. Oh, look at that repaint. Oh, wow.
So that is a vintage collection.
Yeah, it was a Toys R Us exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got it for like $25 at a convention, and it's kind of been just kind of sitting on the floor in the basement waiting to be used. And I was like, I got to paint this thing. If I'm going to use it, I have to try to make it camera ready. So, and that's usually what the catalyst is for any of the vehicle repaints that I end up doing is I want to shoot it, so I got to paint it. So it becomes the weekend's project.
Right.
How long do you take, or how long does it take you, I guess, in between shots to do how long do you actually like come from the time that you think about a shot to, like you just said, all right, I want to paint this for a shot, or you're going to make the stone grave for Ray, everything is that intricate, is that detailed? So what is it like? What's your timeline between shots?
I try to so like if I'm on a conference call at work or something, I'm trying to kind of brainstorm and write down some ideas, like what can I do this weekend, what can I get done in the limited time that I have in the weekend. On Sunday usually is when I try to set up a shot in the morning and try to get a shot like in the camera by mid-afternoon.
Okay.
And it really does just depend on, it's a juggling act between all of my other responsibilities. So if I'm brainstorming throughout the week for a couple of ideas, I try to bang them out on a Sunday. I'll start the setup around 9:30, and then hopefully by 1:00 I've got a couple of shots into the camera.
Okay.
Some weeks are better than others. Some weeks are far worse than others. I'm my own worst critic. So sometimes I'll leave a shot up in the garage for a couple of days, and then I'll revisit it, or I'll shoot it. I'll look at it in the camera, and then I'll reshoot it. So with the shots that I posted this week, I was trying to not do that. I was trying to take a shot, be satisfied with it, and post it. And I feel like I could probably post more regularly if I were to not be so hard on myself. But that's the challenge.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Both Matt and I are pulling up your thing, but I want to pull up the shot here that you're talking about, the one that you posted here. And that's the X-Wing that you just showed us, right? That you had painted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I can't, let's see. Oh, God, look at that. That's a shot in itself, right?
Yeah.
You don't always take Luke out of it. Not even pay attention.
I almost I kind of prefer the second slide to the first slide. But for people, I think, to see the shot, in my experience, whenever I post a photo of just a ship, it definitely doesn't get seen as broadly.
Sure.
But if I pop a figure in there, it tends to do a little bit better.
So I do notice too, why the decision to flip the X-Wing. Right here you got the backside of it, and then here's the front. So
I
just didn't look the same, or took too much attention
so
away from Luke?
it's a little bit more interesting to look at with Luke standing there. Seeing just the nose of it stick out wasn't as interesting to me as it was being able to see most of the tail end of it in the hangar. And I had to choose a bit of a different angle when I shot just the hangar shot of the ship kind of facing out of the hangar. And you can see most of my influence is obviously the original trilogy and the model making stuff that Industrial Light and Magic used to do, and trying to channel their immense skill into my one car garage.
Their immense skill of just figure it out, right? I mean, I'm assuming you watched that show on Disney Plus. It was just unbelievable.
That was the catalyst for me building the hangar. Was
really?
That documentary, that ILM documentary. I was like, I'm doing this. I got to try something that I can put a ship in, watching these guys do it. And because I'll be the first to tell you, I don't really know what I'm doing. It is kind of let's try to figure this out and see what works. I've had plenty of stuff, break or not work, or I think I've told this to Trevor. I've had like 30% of the shots I take out you'll never see. They just sit on a camera card.
Sure.
And I'll move on to something that you see the stuff that ultimately I'm happiest with, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm not. So again, I'm trying to change that. But I like these kind of big projects too.
Yeah. Do you ever think about doing like a meh photo dump? Like it's the shots you're not 100% happy with. So here's all my meh shots, which I'm sure your meh shots are like my best shot on my best day and on my best week.
I feel like I'm in competition really only with myself.
Of course.
So it would be tough for me to do that. Yeah. I revisit them every once in a while. There's a couple that I have posted. There was a Darth Vader shot where he's just kind of basically standing there.
This one?
No, it was
this one's
it was a couple years ago.
Okay.
There's a lot of purple. He's standing in a ubiquitous Nova. It's the hyper real Vader.
Okay.
But I ended up posting that one.
Is your hyper real Vader still intact? Like, is it still?
I had to get a second one because my first one essentially liquefied.
Did it liquefy in the ankles?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
And then anywhere where he was where there was like limited oxygen getting to it, he just kind of completely melted. And he turned gray first, and then he melted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I picked him up, and it's like his boots stayed there, and I'm like, well, what?
And I love that Vader for $25 at Ollie's where I got my two.
Oh, you got yours for $25 at Ollie's?
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like a great Vader.
Yeah. Did you get Luke?
Not anymore.
Did you get the Luke figure or
no?
Just the
I did
Vader?
not get the Luke figure.
Couldn't find it at Ollie's. So.
I probably could have. I would have bought it for the base. I like the
base is pretty cool. It's like
the base comes with
from Bespin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like a Cloud City base almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a carbon freezing chamber looking kind of base.
Oh. Right. Get a couple comments
together.
Oh, if you buy a bunch of Lukes, or you get or Luke and
Vader and
Luke and Vader.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just buying a bunch of extra Lukes to make a base here. I just got a couple comments I want to highlight. Mild Manner Reporter says, I'm always telling Sean he needs to add more sparks, and tonight he got them in that opener. There you go. So Yimbo Reviews Everything is here saying, happy Wednesday, my dudes. Don't forget, Yimbo Reviews Everything and Toy Father will be live probably starting in a few minutes here, a little bit about a half hour from now. So you can check them out on the replay because you don't want to miss this. You want to stay here. You're here with us live. You're comfortable. Don't move. 1-6 shooter saying, Sean, my dude. And RG checking in from Tokyo. What is up, Art? I don't even want to know what time it is by you. Oh, never mind. It is 9:17 a.m. on Thursday for me. He's in the future. Give us the lotto numbers. What are the lotto numbers?
I don't think I have to play.
I don't think that's how it works. Yibo says, I can speak from experience that my listening skills of toddlers would make them absolutely terrible employees. See? Child unemployment, man. I think toddlers can work in Arkansas now. Hey, there you go. All right. What was that like? Wasn't there? What's another great reveal today? Yes, there was another great reveal today by Trevor and Cosmic Legions. That was a hulk of a figure there. It was pretty awesome looking. I don't know, what do you call it? The gunner? He's kind of a bigger gunner figure. So Dom's saying it's important to respect yourself. I think that's in reference to you not sharing some of your shots that you were proud of and saying you're only in competition with yourself, which I love. The toy mayor is here.
I think it was when he was talking about the shot of RoboCop standing over his own grave.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense then. I was trying to tie it all together, but what the hell do I know? Toy mayor is here checking in. I still remember getting to watch Sean and Trevor create live at Sir Dork's Toys in Action Con. That's pretty cool. Why don't we talk a little bit about that? Yeah. We didn't. That was one. I was told today the other day that we go to a lot of cons, Matt. But that was one we did not go to.
Yeah, I was a little
Yeah, that's
disappointed
how
that
we
we
told
didn't
me to
go
go
to
to
that
that
one.
con.
Yeah,
So
it was a
what
blast. It was up in Saratoga, and it was he had like a panel of guests, and at the end of the afternoon, um, Trevor and I put on a kind of a beginner's kind of how to. There was like Trevor put together this awesome like slide presentation with a quick deck kind of showing like what toy photography is, how it can be used, and you know, some examples. And then we put together, I brought a diorama and some figures, and we used his camera. We shot directly into you know, we directly into a laptop and projected it onto a screen and did some test shots and showed people just kind of how we would approach setting up a shot. It was awesome. So much fun. God.
Are you comfortable doing something like that? Like, I don't know if I'd be comfortable like showing people like live how I
Yeah,
set up the shot. I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna knock something over and everybody's gonna laugh at
oh,
me.
I knock stuff over all the time, but you know, I talk a lot at work. I have like I'm always either I have a like a large team of people from, you know, Boston to DC that I'm responsible for, and I'm usually and so like I have to present at the firm that I work at. You know, we do, you know, strategic business reviews and all this stuff. So I'm usually talking about boring stuff, like stupid stuff. So being able to stand in front of a large group of people and talk about something that I care immensely about is easier and far more fun. And being able to do it with Trevor, we've done this twice now. One year he spearheaded it at Legion Con, and I was his magician's assistant, and it was wonderful. I would wish I could do it. Wish we could do it more often. It is really like truly fun.
You could do it right now if you want. We're all watching, so we'll be
Yeah,
happy
I
to.
will take the laptop
Yeah,
into the garage and
take that
show you the
laptop.
mess.
Steve Morrow says, I don't know what I'm doing is best pronounced as play. I like that. You're just
Yeah,
messing around, you're just playing with things.
and
Dom says
I
his
need
mesh. Oh,
to
good.
I need to think about that more. I
Yeah.
need to what Steve said is important, because again, I don't want to self-analyze for you and your audience, but I
Hey, let's
sometimes
do it.
feel like I have to shoot something,
Yeah.
that if I'm not shooting something or I'm not setting something up, I'm not being productive, that it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
it's
feel that
like
too.
sometimes it just stops being fun for like 20 minutes. And you're like, what am I doing to myself? Just go in there and goof off and have some fun, pose a figure. It's a toy, first of all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I lose that sometimes for sure. And so I'm trying to be better about that also.
Yeah.
Man, I
At
hate
the end of
myself, huh?
you don't hate yourself. It's okay. You're
Yeah.
working through it, and we're here for you, and we're going to help
Yes,
you
right.
through it. That's
Yeah.
what this show's all about, right?
I
Like,
love that.
and
Thank you. I
look, at the end
appreciate
of the day, too, like we lose sight of this, but at the end of the day, we're a bunch of grown men who are playing with action figures, and we're doing it for fun. So, like we decide to
Yeah.
share it with the world, and if the world doesn't like it, the world doesn't like it. But you know what? If you made anything else, the world isn't going to like it either. So it doesn't matter,
That's it.
right? So you might as
Yep.
well have fun with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Just going back to your mesh shots, Dom says my mesh shots are posted every day. That's not true, Dom. You've been putting out some fire shots, and no one posts more consistently than you. So don't no negative talk, Dom. And then I think this is in response to me saying, "Would you just take all your mesh shots and put it all out there?" And 16shooter says, "Why would anyone do that? Why wouldn't you? Right? If they're like all the shots that you took the time to make and do it." Why wouldn't you just put them in an album that's like your photo dump? You don't have to call it your mesh shots. I just didn't know what else to call them. I'm not saying
Yeah.
here's my June mesh shots photo dump. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I know Trevor's
The
a cutting
room floor.
the cutting room floor. Yeah, Captain
I don't know
McKay is
about that.
calling you. Captain McKay is calling you out. He says, "I bought a diorama, sir. You bought a literal mountain, if I recall. What was the diorama now that you brought?"
I did. So I brought. I did bring. I was trying to demonstrate that I do try to shoot as with as many practical elements as possible. So I made this freaking mountain that didn't fit in barely any shots, and it was like it wasn't really fun to build. I had a blast building it. It was really hard to shoot because it was like there. I took a couple of photos with it. Darth Vader is in front of it, kind of holding a holocron, and it's like kind of bokeh in the background. And there's that was kind of the main shot that I took with it. There's a couple of others, but I did bring it with me, and this guy came up to me at the end, and he was like, I can't leave without that diorama." And I was like,
Oh.
"Okay," because I don't want to put it back in my wife's Highlander and drive it home because it barely fit. And he bought it, and I was like,
There you go.
I was relieved. It's the only diorama I've ever sold. So
Wow, that would have been a good commercial though. Here I'm putting this moon in my diorama. So
How big is that moon?
yeah. What I remember you making that. That's like a, what is it? It's like a basketball or something, right? No, it's something bigger than that. What was it?
with the planet, the moon?
Yeah, the planet, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 26-inch diameter exercise ball.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That I put
Only
like
26
cell clay
yeah.
over and let it harden. Yeah.
Do you still have that?
A 7th grade science project.
Yeah. That's no moon. That's a planet. That's no moon.
Yeah.
Cali Collector is in the house. Steve says it was like watching Tom Hanks in the movie Big. It was to adults playing, but watching the magic and wondering how did that come together like that. That's pretty cool, man. Like that's gotta feel good to hear that so many people enjoy it. Watching you.
It was great meeting Steve that day. I remember meeting him there and talking with him after the presentation, and him just being incredibly awesome. It was a really great time.
Are they bringing that Comic-Con? Are they bringing that Toy Photography Con back, or
I don't? I'm not sure. I hope that they do. I would love to go again and spend the day there. It was really, really a blast. It was great. And Saratoga is a gorgeous place to visit if you've never been.
You forget how big New York is, right? Like everybody thinks.
Yeah, right.
You forget.
I mean, I think it took me 3.5 hours to get there from Connecticut. Wow. So, yeah, it was beautiful. I would love for them to do it again. Yeah, it was nice. We got to meet Jared's whole family.
Just like Ma and Pa and me, Ma and Peepaw, like everybody showed up.
I think his brothers were there. Yeah, his mom. Yeah, it was awesome, and they were so supportive of him too. It was really, really wonderful.
Awesome. That's awesome. Are they all knights? Is it like Sir Dink and Sir Dort?
Yeah, I don't. No, he's the only royalty in the.
The only royalty, the one that's been knighted. Toying around us here. See, as soon as Kevin shows up, I start tripping over my words. Kevin, who celebrated Canada Day on Monday, happy Canada Day to you, sir. You'll be your downstairs neighbor will be making lots of noise starting tomorrow, and we apologize in advance, but also no, we don't. Anyway, enjoy the light show. TJ Williams is here as well. Paul Morales stops by. 1/6 shooter showing some regret that he didn't buy the mountain himself. So there I'm
gonna make him something one day.
Oh, there you go. You heard it here first, Trevor. He's gonna make you something. If he doesn't, he's gonna have to show us the garage. But Mild Manner Reporter says, "Don't show him the garage, Sean. Don't do it." How bad is the garage? Like, is it that bad, or is it like it's your workstation, so you don't care what it looks like?
Now it ebbs and flows. I mean, it's got a lawnmower in it, and then it's got a 3D print station, and it's got a table where I shoot, and then a table where I paint stuff. But it's any creative space. It sometimes it looks like a small bomb has gone off, and then other times it looks like I hit the reset button and everything is back exactly where it belongs. Just depends on the day you visit.
Yeah. My desk looks like a small bomb went off. I know what you mean. I just need a lawnmower in here.
Yeah, no. Just go get a lawnmower. Go get a 112 lawnmower. Machu, it looks like we got a black screen. So, Man Beast Boy saying that. I don't know. So we'll just jump out. Man Beast Boy, can you see that one? Let us know if you can. I was just flipping through this one real quick. I mean, I love that, like you go for a little bit of from out in space down to the, the nitty gritty world of Gotham.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, you're not seeing mine either?
Add yours.
There you go.
I don't see yours.
Okay.
Oh, now I see.
You don't see mine. Okay. You got it? All right. There we go. What does it say? Off again. All right. How about now?
I see it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
I see it.
So I love this. I love this shot. Like, this is a great shot. And I always love, by the way, when people go back to Batman being Batman in the detective route. Like, I love that aspect of it. You want to talk a little bit about this shot? Because I love this background too. Is this practical here, or is this
it's a printed backdrop?
Oh, it's printed.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I taped it to a piece of foam board and kind of propped it up
Nice.
against the. It's actually propped up against a foam roller next to the wall.
Where the exercise did it come with the exercise ball? So
No, I do like as I think if you spend time on my page, you see my biggest influences are definitely Batman and Star Wars. I kind of
yeah.
Try to do a healthy mix of each one, kind of based on where I'm at that point in time. But I do that's kind of my favorite thing that Batman does too is he can go from fighting and doing insane things to these quiet on the ground kind of just looking over a crime scene, trying to being the world's greatest detective type stuff.
Yeah.
And I like that he can embodies both. It's so awesome.
Where's the dial from?
I made it
Oh.
last August. The door is from Grime City.
Okay.
And I'm so proud of it because he tagged Visual Approach on the door before he sent it to me.
Oh, nice.
So I was really excited about that. I don't know. I can't recall where I bought the newspaper dispenser on Etsy, and the artist who I follow now, their name escapes me, but it's a beautiful piece. I love it. And
I'm actually okay. Sorry, I cut you off.
I was just gonna say the parking meter is also from Grime City.
Grime City. I'm curious where you got these little leaves.
Those are from Chef Toy RD.
Chef Toy RT. Okay.
Yeah, he sent me. What did he send me? I bought something. Oh, I bought a bag of bones and skulls from him, and he included a little envelope of leaves and stuff, and they're really great.
So before you get to that question, just real quick, did you like tweezers set the leaves, or did you just kind of just and hope and go where they land? They land.
I dumped them on the ground and then I blew on them.
You blew on them. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and let the leaves fall where they may.
That's what I was gonna say. You almost want to just let them go where they want. What
I figure if I tried to be deliberate about it, I would have been there for an hour because I'm a psycho. So
yeah, the leaves actually spell out who the killer is, and
right.
we get really detailed with this shot. We did have a question. I think it was from Steve asking what the debris in the ground is from. Are those boxes that you made? There seems to be a couple crates here.
Yep. So the one of the boxes, the crates are, I think, also from Chef Toy RD. There's one for each color Ninja Turtle.
Oh,
there's a purple, red, green, and blue. And
right.
I made the boxes and the like newspaper stuff that's in them a few years ago. And I love stacking them in a shot and just making a giant mess of things.
Yeah. it looks natural too. So
It does.
Dom wants to know
what the dumpster looked like in my apartment building when I was a kid.
There you go. Dom wants to know if the bones and skulls were locked in the Rancor HasLab, and that's how you got them.
Yeah, they're probably nicer than the ones you would have gotten with the Rancor HasLab in the cardboard backdrop.
Will you be backing the Mos Eisley's
No.
bar?
No. I backed the Ghost day one. I backed the Razor Crest day one, and I backed the Katana day one.
Okay.
But I have no need for a place that I love. I love it. I think it's a beautiful piece. I think they did a great job with it. Why it doesn't come with some sort of floor is beyond me.
Yeah.
That's a good call. I didn't think of that. That's a good call though.
Like I don't like that. It's got to come with a floor.
That was my first thought. Was like, there's no floor on this thing.
Yeah.
I love this shot. It looks right out of the movie. Like it's just the posing, and I love the cape, and you got a little squirt of smoke here going, or atmosphere. It just really ties in well. That's really
thank you.
Really
I have a an awesome Halloween mini fogger that has done me right over the years.
Are there any? So I mean, like we could go through this all night, right? Like, are there any shots that you had, a particular challenge that you learned something from, or like the shot that took you forever to get right, but you were really happy with, or the shot that took you the least amount of time that you were like, holy crap, I forget how good this, I can't believe how good this came out.
The Conan versus Predator shot, I knew what I wanted to do right from the very, very beginning, and I got it in about 40 minutes.
Wow.
I think I pinned it. I think it's at the top.
It's at the top.
There you go. Oh, wow.
I got
That
it
was
in
40
about
minutes?
40 minutes.
Wow.
And because I really didn't have to do much but wipe out the wire on the Predator.
Okay.
And then it's like I got a giant bamboo stick up his backside. And so the reason, and then Conan is touching him to prevent him from spinning away off the stick.
That's smart. Yeah.
It was a holiday. I think it was the Monday of like Martin Luther King that year, and I remember not having a lot of time, but I was like, I want to shoot this shot, and it just happened. So I like it because it's exactly what I wanted, and it was it was just worked out. It all came together, and it will never happen again. So that's why it's pinned.
So I actually got a question that's going to flow nicely with Steve's question. So the background that it looks like you printed it. Did you print it? Is that some print that you bought? And do you reuse that print? Like, do you save it, or you just one and done, throw it out? Okay.
I have rolls of prints in the garage. So there's local print shops. That's just 20-pound regular white paper.
Mm-hmm.
You give them a JPEG that you find of a background, because I don't do digirama. So I would take, if I were to use this for a digirama, I'd prefer to have a physical printout of it because of the way my ancient brain works. And you pay $1 a square foot and they'll print you out a giant piece of paper. And then I save it and I try to get the most out of it.
There you go. And then Steve is asking, how do you organize all your accessories when they're not in use? Do you have a tackle box or random or with the fig, or what's your method? Because you do seem to have a lot of little, just like even little plants and, rocks and stuff. And like you said, you got the print that you rolled up. Yeah.
I have buckets of rocks.
Okay.
I have like buckets of sticks. And then I have like little organizational, like you would put nuts and bolts in type stuff that you get at Home Depot. They got the 30 trays, the little drawers that pop out.
Yeah.
And full of cans of spray paint, weapons, hands, skulls, books, all that stuff. And my goal this year is to try to kind of focus on that. I spent a couple of years trying to build out some dioramas, but I think that one thing that I am missing that I could is props, like to flesh out the scenes. So furniture is something that I don't really have a lot of, that I think you come up with a great idea, but you can't shoot it if you don't have the physical thing. So
speaking
that's
of
kind
furniture,
of where I'm at.
Oh, there's one shot that I want.
Yeah,
Jay-Shot, can you go to the one with Boba Fett?
The one with Boba Fett. Just this one?
Go.
Oh,
you'll see it. Yep.
Keep going.
That one.
Wait, I just had it up. The one I had it up? Oh,
yeah.
All right. Yeah, this one. The coffee table. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the one that caught my eye. This is an older photo, right? You just reposted it.
I reposted it for May the 4th because I wanted to.
I like Matt. You just reposted it. It was a good shot. He can repost it.
No, because I thought, I wasn't sure if maybe I was thinking it was somebody else's shot, but this is the shot that I remember.
Yeah, I think I posted it a couple years ago.
Yeah. And this is like the attention to detail on everything on here.
Dude, I just saw something I didn't see before. The Hondo in the bowl there with the head.
I don't know
what happened.
Oh, who knows?
I'm disappointed.
This was another. So I moonlight as a personal trainer at a gym, and I work a couple nights a week, and also Saturday mornings. I have clients I train on Saturday mornings, and this shot came to me while I was training my buddy Scott, and I was like, I'm going to shoot this. I'm going to use Han Solo and Carbonite as a coffee table, because there at the time when this Boba Fett figure came out, the Return of the Jedi Black Series one, which everybody loved, there was 8 million shots of him blasting and firing his rocket pack and like doing all sorts of actiony stuff. Said I can't. I would get lost in the ether, so I'm going to put him on the couch. So I stopped at Hobby Lobby on the way home, and I bought the dollhouse couch and chair and coffee table that you see there. And then I set them up in the backside of the Jabba's Palace diorama that I have, and there it is.
And
some of those props belong to my daughter that I borrowed.
Where did you get the mini sail barge?
That's a Micro Machine sail barge.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it on eBay a bunch of years ago, I think for like $1.50. Yeah, it lives in the garage now.
I remember when I saw this, and I was like, I need to get a whole bunch of bounty hunters, because I like you set me on a path of like trying to hunt down Dengar, because they didn't re-release him yet. And like right after I picked him up from eBay, they re-released him, and I was like, oh my god! But I remember it was this photo that made me want to get like Dengar, and I was like, Jay, you remember like what I was like? I need to find this figure. I need to complete all my bounty hunters.
He's great. Yeah, the face is perfect on him.
Dude, I didn't know why you were looking for Dengar. I was like, this is the guy who's wrapped in. Well, yeah, but I mean, like at the time, it was like, why are you looking for Dengar? It's the guy who's wrapped in bandages who got his ass kicked by Han Solo. What's so special about him?
I just think of him as his paunchy buddy. Like, he just like maybe doesn't get a ton of respect. It just loves hanging out.
No, but by the way, the pose on Boba is just perfect. It's so good, the pose there. And I also love this little TV. The TV is really good too. I like that TV.
Also Dollhouse stuff.
Also Dollhouse. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the lighting, like how you have the practical lighting in the actual dio itself.
Yeah, I ran a string light through it to try to make those two lights that he has that in Jabba's Palace that that are kind of in that. Yeah, I don't light it the way that it's lit in the movie. Usually, I usually go crazy with the light behind the Gamorrean there and try to pull out the highlights of it. But yeah, I love the way they designed Jabba's Palace. It's just a timeless set. I made those pillows too, by the way. I'm very proud of those pillows. Now with the pillow back there, I hand sewed those pillows.
Oh. What is he watching? That's the real question.
That's a great. I don't know.
Right?
I will.
You didn't think about that?
I will leave that up to the viewer to decide. I have no idea.
It's like the Real Housewives of Alderaan. It just says canceled. That's a deep Star Wars joke. You really got to stretch for that one. Steve says, I find more enjoyment putting together photos and entertain me more than common scene recreations. I get that. I can understand that. When you get an idea and you try to do something funny, as opposed to just trying to recreate something. I get that. What do you? I mean,
I'm not great at scene recreations, and I like to maybe reinterpret them, but I don't think I'm particularly strong at direct scene recreations. So I do steer clear of them for the most part.
And then we got Man Beast Boy says King of the Hill. I don't know if that's what he's watching or if he's just saying he's King of the Hill. And no chewing checking in. I think he's in Germany right now. I don't know. He's making chocolate. So Guten Tag. No chewing. Suddenly we're streaming around the world tonight. We're in Tokyo. We're international. Mr. 305. We are. We're streaming in Tokyo. We're streaming in Germany, and all kinds of things. All right, so Matt, you picked up the Boba Fett. Sean, what here is the most difficult shot, or the shot you learned the most from, and what did you learn? So that TIE fighter shot right there with Mando on the TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
That shot. So he's balanced on that stupid TIE fighter. He's got a wire up his backside as they normally do. And he is holding on to, I should have used tacky or something. He's holding on to the area where you would kind of pull the lid of the TIE fighter open to put a figure in there. And the TIE fighter is balanced on like a cardboard like dowel, like a roll. And I have the lava diorama behind him. And I was shooting it with a 50mm macro lens.
Okay.
So I was basically in the next room so that I had enough room to get the whole TIE fighter and the diorama into it. It's so stupid. Like it felt like an exercise in futility, but I ultimately got the shot that I wanted. But this is something that I did leave up for a couple of days and ended up revisiting until I got it right. And this is probably the closest to a scene recreation that you'll see from me.
I was about to say this is a scene recreation. But
this was originally, and I went ultimately back to the well with Mandalorian. Anybody who is familiar with the work that I do, I shoot Mandalorian a ton. When I originally shot this photo, it had Luke Skywalker was on it, slashing the wing off the TIE fighter. But I just didn't like the way that it looked because I didn't have a Luke Skywalker sculpt where his hair was blowing. So it just didn't work. It just didn't work. And I spent a day and a half trying to get Luke to work on this flipping TIE fighter. And I was like, I've got to shoot this thing. I spent 2 weeks repainting it. I'm shooting this TIE fighter. So I put Mando on it, and then I put Moff Gideon in the TIE fighter and took out the TIE fighter pilot. And this was the one scene recreation. And again, I agonized over it. So this is why I don't do them very often.
So going back to what you said you used the 50mm lens, right? So everything is more compressed, like with the background. Yeah. It's tough to shoot vehicles because it's like the dioramas are not big enough for you to fill in the shot. So using the 50mm was really smart. And also the way you have it positioned, the TIE fighter is basically blocking the horizon line of where you have the backdrop and your dio meeting. So it blends everything really well.
Yeah, I had to fudge it.
How did you do the motion lines? Or you just
so I took a second photo, just a background plate without the TIE fighter there. Once I was sure that I had it and I could take it down, I took a with the same focal point because there's a manual focus. I just shot a blank background plate, and then I did a path blur in Photoshop to make it look like they were streaking across. And I only did it in the foreground. So that, obviously for perspective reasons. And you're spending all this time trying to edit it, and you don't know if it's going to work. And then there's always that moment which we've all experienced where we're like, yes, it worked. Okay, I can go to bed now.
Dude, I remember when you posted this, then it just blew up. Everybody was sharing it. Yeah, it's such a great shot.
And it was rewarding because of it had taken me the better part of a week and a half to try to get something right. Again, trying with Luke and first repainting the TIE fighter.
I was going to say, you repainted the TIE fighter.
It's that's the same color. I think it's Tamiya's TS32 or 28. It's the same color that they used on the original trilogy ties. I was Googling it, trying to find out which color it matched. And when I painted the TIE fighter, it really just, it was awesome the way that it looked. They definitely led me in the right direction with the color, and painting the black First Order tie to look like a traditional tie was nice. I mean, by the wings, where the wings meet the fuselage, it doesn't look great because it had that First Order kind of cylinder thing at the end. But the ball cockpit itself looks good, so I rode with it.
I also like here. I just like noticing it now that we're talking about it, right? Like you had the red from the lava stream on the bottom, and you got this hint of red on the underglow too, like the attention to detail there, and
that's practically that's in the photo. So some things it's a happy accident.
Oh, okay, all right, nice.
Yeah, because the lava is lit, so it's
the lava's lit. Yeah.
What do you use to light the lava?
So the whole lava diorama is built on a clear plexiglass sheet, And then where you see the lava, I just tinted epoxy resin and I poured it in the channel there. So I put mini panels underneath the diorama. The diorama is elevated on a platform, and I just light
see
it from
that. Yeah,
underneath.
there's a gap there.
Yeah, and I put lights underneath it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Some people have built them, and certainly there's lighting built into it. But I have good success using the larger or mini panels or larger lights to get a more even distribution of light across it.
That, and also like if you built in the lights, you can't really adjust the lights for your
Yeah.
photo, right?
And you
want to
can
have
see
that
the individual
control.
LEDs too, the little
Yeah.
lights. So that's a challenge. But again, this lava diorama was born from me sitting around watching the episode 3 DVD extras, because this is how they did the lava for Mustafar, more or less. And I was watching it. They were using something that was an actual fluid that was flowing, but I was like, oh, they made the lava glow by lighting it from below. Like, I think I can do that in the diorama. I'm going to go make a giant mess in the garage now. And that is what I did. So my first attempt with the lava diorama, I didn't think about using something that would cure, because again, I like to do things twice sometimes. So I actually poured paint and clear Elmer's glue in the thing, and it never dried. It never cured. So it's just sitting on the table wet, and then it started to leak, and I had to scrape the glue off the floor. And then my wife's uncle. I was explaining the trials and tribulations of me scraping the glue off the floor, and he's like, "Why don't you just use epoxy resin and put some paint in it?" I'm like, "Yep, God, I'm stupid." Stopped at Home Depot, bought one of those kits that you pour over a bar top table, and threw some orange paint in it, poured it, and it was like, God.
You make it sound so easy. Just poured some orange paint into it. Like,
you know what, J-Shot? Let's do something like that. Let's make a diorama with like lava or something.
Yeah.
Home Depot's like down the block.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
You know what? All right, you guys got Sean. You're on your own. We're gonna go make a diorama. So,
well, they close at 9, so
all right, never mind.
They're closed already. But
next time. Yeah.
When you're done with your vacations, we'll do a diorama.
There's just one. It's just the one.
You always say there's just one, but there's another one always around the corner.
It's just one. Hey man, I got to take the vacations. The work is killing me lately. So,
totally understandable.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like honestly, like we can go on and on and on. I use another one. We use that setup too. There you go. Oh, Greedo cheated. I don't know what it is, but Greedo cheated. And that's why everybody's mad. Zuckus is just sitting here with the pillow, like, love it. So it's not beer pong. What are they playing?
It's spotchka, I think.
Spotchka pong.
Those cups are from the Sideshow 1/6 scale R2D2 from Return of the Jedi.
Oh, I think my sister has that.
And is Dengar puking in the trash can in the back? Is that what's happening? Okay, cool.
He's sick. I made the little ping pong ball out of tacky. It's a little. It's on a little wire.
Does it? No, I want to know if it actually does. It say ping pong on it? Like, did you go?
It's got my fingerprints on it, I think.
Put it in Arabesh. Put ping pong in Arabesh. You didn't do that? Well, clearly you're just not dedicated to the craft. I mean, look at all these other photos.
There was one that I wanted to touch on. Was the Well, first of all, go to that Darth Maul one. That was also on a magazine.
This isn't a photo. This is Ray Park jumping in the air. This isn't. God damn it, Sean! Stop taking credit for other people's work. This is too good.
That's an amazing figure. I know they're re-releasing it with better head sculpts, but when that thing first came out, it was a great figure. This shot didn't take me long either, because there's really nothing in it except a rock and this printed background. So
I got a rock.
It was nice. That rock is from my backyard, courtesy of Vernon, Connecticut. Which all of my rocks are from my backyard, and that's why they're all the same color.
You're saying there's a better head sculpt. The only head sculpt better than this is actually to have like Ray Park Jr. shrunk down.
I immediately pre-ordered the re-release just because of those. The head sculpts look so incredible.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a re-release.
He looks incredible. Wow. It's like,
look at the.
I don't want to buy the same figure twice.
Yeah,
but I felt like with the way those head sculpts had improved so dramatically that I had to. I didn't have a choice.
So is
Are
this
they-
intentional? I'm assuming it's intentional, but like, is this is dirt getting kicked up? Like, is
Yeah.
this
Just to show a little bit of motion, just a little bit.
That's unbelievable. That's amazing.
He's about to leave the grounds. Yeah.
The attention to detail.
Incredible. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Bearded calling you out. Macho J Shot would never block me. No, I would never block you. Never block you. What's going on? People are blocking people in the chats. Come on now.
I
Just
think
love everybody. No. We're giving out subscriptions tonight, but 796 can't have one. Kidding, Mario. You'd be the first one to get one. Dude, yeah. Good. Sorry, Matt. I derailed us for a second. My bad. What else were you gonna say?
I completely forgot what I was saying.
Cool. We'll move on. The only way to get over a derailed train is to keep moving.
Go up.
Going up. We're going up.
But that was on whatchamacallit, Toy Photographer magazine, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Alex Bain put that magazine together with a bunch of others. It came out great. I have a copy of it somewhere. It's always great to see kind of your work printed.
Yeah. But to share in a publication is cool. That's awesome.
My favorite part of the hobby is the fellowship, like talking to you guys, talking to other toy photographers about toys or the things that, our small community, about all the stuff that we like, that other people are like, wait, what? So being involved in something like that, where there's a bunch of other incredible artists in it too, is like the icing on the cake. That's, what keeps us doing it, I think.
Go to that Mando on the left, J-Shot.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the harder things to do with toys like this is your reflections look really good on the metal. Like, do you block anything off, or like, is there any Photoshop, or is it just like you strategically place things?
I use a ubiquitous Nova diorama as the ceiling. So he's lit from above with a ubiquitous Nova diorama.
Okay.
So it's like got the bars of lights that kind of hit him on the helmet and like that. And so if he were bigger, I think if he were 6 scale, I would definitely have some reflection issues. But since I hide him under that Nova diorama with the lights on, it tends to take over on the reflections.
Gotcha.
And the glass, I use glass on the floor so that the printed background that I have on the back reflects down to kind of bring it all forward.
Yeah.
The glass, that's smart. I wouldn't think of that. I love that. Like, the idea of the printed diorama, for some reason, is something that escapes me. So I love that we're talking about this. It's something definitely that I gotta think about. You got an extra Mando back there.
Yeah.
What?
I had to hide him.
Now there's 2 of them. This is getting out of hand. It's pretty awesome.
That my Nova has been like that for 5 years, and I'll never reconfigure it. I use it as the ceiling on all of my Space Walls stuff,
but using
because it does have a nice quality that it gives the figures when they're under it, especially the shiny, like Vader or Mando.
Yeah. So like using the ubiquitous lights from there, because the way the lights are configured, it looks like it's part of the scene. You're not gonna get like say if you use the ring light, right? Like you'll get the ring light reflection, or like if you use one of these tube lights, you'll see like the tube light reflecting and whatever is like holding it in place, if it's your hand or something else. But that's smart using the ubiquitous.
I try to block off Vader. I try to block him off because he's like a Black Mirror, and
he's
everything. You see me like an idiot holding the light above his head, and nobody wants that. So I try. It's like basically in a costume. It feels like trying to make sure there's no real reflection around him.
Yeah,
because I don't want to. Well. I'm just not confident enough in my editing skills to remove the bad reflections from his helmet and have it still look convincing. So I try to front load it and not have them at all.
So it is something that you pay attention to when you're taking the shots, though, right? Like what's reflecting and. and
Yeah,
have a light
and so that's why I do tend to lean heavily on the ubiquitous Nova, because I get the outcome that I am most that I'm most happy with with Mando. Certainly the Mafex one is probably not, it's not as shiny as the Figuarts one, but it's right up there.
Yeah.
I try to be aware of it. Sometimes you're juggling so many different things in a shot to try to, the security droid behind him loved falling over. It was like he was getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, more focused on whether that idiot's going to stand up. I think he's actually on a wire in the final shot.
Yeah, you got it. I think that, yes, he is on a wire. Yeah.
It's
like, you got these two that are held by clamps, which I love, because I use the clamps too to hold them up sometimes.
Love the clamps.
The wire. It's just,
that's fucking genius. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
it's like a big heavy foot. It's great.
Yep.
See, I'm learning stuff.
See, everybody's learning stuff.
These are all things that I've seen other people do that I'm now regurgitating to you fine folks.
That's how it works. One person takes one piece and we keep pushing it forward. Steve says lighting is one of those things that's tricky to learn, and I keep reminding myself that when I turn on a lamp, the lamp is one light source, and the nearby wall ceilings are bouncing lighting too. That's great, man. That's a good way to think about it. Do you do a lot of? I know you're talking about the ubiquitous being the light up top, but like, do you do a lot of direct light, or do you do a lot of bounce? What's your preferred source?
I like to do both. My key light is usually direct. I'll have a fill light that's actually direct, but I'll use fall off so it's far away. And then I will definitely use a bounce card. Sometimes I'll use a flat, like a V flat, to pull out some light. If I'll use a black card instead of a white card. But I do like to use a bounce card for sure. Sometimes I will put a light as a fill light. If it's a darker setting, I'll take a bounce card and I'll put a lume cube right up next to it, so that there's just a small amount of light bleeding onto the card and then bouncing back at the figure. But it kind of depends on the environment.
Nice. I know that Trevor likes to do a lot of bounce. He likes a lot of that stuff.
The first time I ever saw a bounce card was Trevor's Goblins Coming Over the Bridge, I think. And I was like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that?
He's like, it's a goblin coming over a bridge. He's like, no, the bounce card. Yeah.
I've been using. Yeah, I think it was because of Trevor I started using more bounce cards.
Yeah. I think that I'm basically Vulcan. I have no ego to bruise. So I am all up in people's behind the scenes, because I know there's something that I can learn from everyone. And if I could take something small and try to incorporate it into whatever I consider to be my style, then it makes my life easier and I get a better outcome, then I love that. I have watched Eye of Awatu's speed edits so often that I feel like I can see what his Photoshop settings are. I learned a lot about overlays, and I don't do a ton of editing. I'll do a couple of solid color adjustment layers and stuff that I feel like I gleaned from his behind the scenes. But I'm very quick to give credit where credit is due. I mean, I've learned so much from all the fine folks that I interact with and whose work I see. It's just nonstop. It's great. Yeah. Sometimes the work is so good that it's debilitating. And I want to stop. But then once I, put on my big boy pants, I realize that there's something to be learned there. And then I go to school. So
there's nothing wrong with having a good cry. It's it's how it works. I'm pretty sure Trevor invented bounce cards. It's possible. It is absolutely possible. Trevor cards. We do have a couple people who's joined us in the chat here, and I also want to call out you tagged it before, but Man Beast Boy saying learnings, and I think the last few episodes we've had a couple of really good tips and tricks here. So I'm pretty happy with the way we're going, and we'll continue going with this way if you guys are enjoying it. And that's at the end of the day, that's what it kind of goes down to. We love sharing these stories and hearing these stories, but as long as you guys are getting entertained and learning something, I could put my head down on the pillow at night. High School Creations is here. What up, dude?
What up, Mike?
Got them walls in there. We gotta get them walls out. What's going on?
The walls on this guy.
The walls on this guy. And we got a twofer tonight, Machu. So I don't know if you and I should both say it or you want to say it twice, but you got both Toy Rensu and
All right, you got to do Boomer's way of saying it.
Boomer's way.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry, you do this one.
Sup, Knights?
Damn kids, what's up with these Knights? All right, that's gonna be my Boomer way of saying it. So, but 78 points is actually gonna be out at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe. So that'll be awesome to actually
That's what I'm
meet
hearing.
him in person. But yeah, we got a lot of people. A lot of people joined late too. We got Bearded is in the chat, and Red Dog 5 is here, who had the pleasure of hanging out with in DesignerCon. So yeah, a lot of people here. A lot of really talented folks are here. So Sean, one question I did want to ask you, and just kind of like you've run through a lot of different approaches and styles and things, and you talk through a lot of different techniques. What's like either one, either a tip or a trick or like a piece of, like that you've collected over the years that like you can't live without, right? Like whether it's the clamps to hold down characters, whether it's aperture wire to make a drunk droid stand, like what's the one thing that like if somebody was going to take away from this show, like what should they take away with learning from you?
I would say I think you would hear this from a lot of people, but I only light the figures from the side or the back. Almost no light is hitting them from the front.
Yeah.
Almost all of the light is hitting them from the side or the back. And I think what I've seen, there was a time in the community where everyone was over lighting and then underexposing. And so you're blasting this figure with light and the lights were incredibly close. And then you dial down the exposure. And I think that there can be a better balance between the light coming into the camera and the amount of light that you're pouring onto the figure, but also making sure that you light them from the side and the back so that you can pull the details out. And I think, all right, I'm going to give two. The other one is
hell yeah, go. You can break the rules.
Shooting a figure. My personal preference is to shoot a figure below its eye line, and I like to shoot like below and then up. It makes the figure look larger than it actually is, in my opinion, and it gives it a little bit more life when you shoot it that way. So that's my preference.
I keep telling that to J-Shot.
I was gonna say that's Machu doing his Mr. Miyagi smile there, where he goes, he's always telling me shoot it as if you were in the scene, right? Not like it's a toy, like shooting it as if you were in the camera there. And I would say too, credit to you for the back, the backlighting. You're always pushing that backlighting and that little rim on the shoulder there type of thing. So I think those are two solid things. Two solid. I always know too, when I get that Mr. Miyagi gift from you, that is like a badge of honor that I have done well. I have done well. So that is no small feat. 78 points. No, not San Diego. No idea who started that. It was probably me. It was probably me. I probably started.
I don't even think you started that. I think that might have been Toy Father.
Okay, there you go. Well, damn it, Chris, you lied to me. But hey, hopefully Legion's Con.
Just like how he says Jada Toys the wrong way. How does he say it?
Jada?
Jada?
Yeah, Jada Toys in his Boston accent. Go get some dunks and some Jada. 79.6 though says he will book his ticket to Legion's Con if you come. So there you go. 78 on your way. Koopa Steve saying catch you on the replay. Learned a lot so far. So there you go, Sean. Thank you so much for teaching. I'm not saying goodbye yet. I'm just saying thank you. Don't worry. You're not going anywhere. I strive to be this VAP guy. Make it seem possible. I'm trying before SDCC. There you go. Red Dog saying Sean is such an incredible artist. Always interesting and pushing the limits. Hell yeah. Collector 425 saying it's Wednesday, my dudes. And I got to shout out Collector 425. I will be on the Grown Ass Man Toys podcast on Sunday. I'll pitch that later again, but since he's here, make sure to mention it. See the amazing room transformation that I spent 8 hours doing just so that I could show it off on that episode, because I imagine my room looked like your garage, my friend. So we'll do that. Steve Mars says frontlining is best explained by saying Go stand facing the sun. Hurts, don't it? And you turned away from the light. Don't shoot with direct light facing it. Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going at first. You're like, go stand. I'm thinking about like, I'll stand, not like go stand in front of the face of the sun. But that is a good way to look at it, man. I like that.
My son was having the cross pictures taken, and the photographer had them all facing the sun, and they were all squinting. And I was like, what is this guy doing? Nobody wanted those pictures. They're all
yeah. Every one of them like this. Like, yeah, it's great.
like
yeah, cool. Good job. Let's see. 78 and 79.6 Perfect Strangers reboot. He's bulky. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Now we do the dance of joy. Real quick, Perfect Strangers story. Really quick, and this is just funny for me. My daughter has a 6-foot giraffe in her room from the time that she was born, because when she was born there were some complications, and I had to like go back and forth from the hospital every day. And every day I passed the giraffe in the gift shop, and I said, when we take her home, I'm taking home this stupid giraffe. Now, mind you, had I looked at the price tag of the giraffe before I said that, it might have been a different story. But if you know, giraffes are reticulated. And I kept saying ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. So the giraffe's name is Belky. And that's how that worked. So my daughter, who was 11 and has no business knowing what the Perfect Strangers show is, knows what it is because of that reason. So
I think I was 11 when I watched Perfect Strangers.
We probably shouldn't have been watching it. It was a ridiculous show. We got some emojis from Collective 425. Got Captain Boomerang today out from Man Beast Boy. Do you McFarlane at all, Sean?
Yes, I buy some of the mega figures, and then I will I tend to like I repainted the Doomsday and I repainted the Killer Croc, which I shot a couple years ago, and I painted the Doomsday. I repainted. I don't know where it is. I have the Violator also. I like the larger some of the big figures, and the Dark Side I have, and the Anti-Monitor.
I will say though that the figures when they get repainted, they look amazing because of the sculpt, and it brings out the sculpt.
The Doomsday I have behind me. I'm gonna get it.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We can kill time. It's right here.
The other
back photo saying you buy McFarlane's. Yeah.
It's this one. That's a good figure. Like he's
Oh yeah, look at that. That repaint is great. Yeah.
God, now I have to repaint mine. Damn it.
you give him like it's just
dry brush,
black wash, and then you dry brush it. Yeah.
That looks really good though.
He's a great figure. He's a little loose, and he's got a ponytail for some reason, but I don't know.
Don't judge. It's 2024. He can have a ponytail and be loose. He can do whatever he wants. All right. It's his body count. Don't shame him.
If I had the hair, I'd have a ponytail.
That's right. You'd be loose too. Just like
the Boy Scout, baby.
There you go. Darth Prime is saying that Doomsday is awesome.
He's
who
great.
put his hair in a ponytail? Doomsday with the RVD ponytail. So actual question: black wash, dry brush, white? Question mark.
It is a French gray.
A French gray.
It's a light French gray that I dry brushed him with. Yeah, but I like to dry brush over the wash because I let the wash basically dry completely. I use a Vallejo wash, and then I dry brush over it, and then I hit it with a matte spray.
Got it. Mild manner thinking way too much into this. Like, who got close enough to him to put his hair in a ponytail? Like,
he did it himself. He did it himself.
Can he? I mean, look at those arms. Like, I don't know if he can get it. Like, he get them.
I don't know if he can do that with his fingers. Yeah, he's got fat fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody gave him a top knot. Then I don't know. In this
Lois Lane jail after Superman was gone. So all right, so you do it between diorama building, taking photos, painting. Like what do you actually find the most joy in doing? Is it bringing it all together? Is it a single thing? Where do you go?
So there are times I enter what I sometimes I there's this feeling where I'm like, all right, I'm entering build mode. I need to build something. And then for the next couple of weeks, I feel incredibly satisfied just building, not posting. and just trying to get something out into physical form.
Okay.
And then some days it's like I've got an idea that I think is great that I really want to try to shoot, and then that's when it's really fulfilling. So wherever the pendulum swings, I go with whatever is going to feel like is going to give me the most joy. And I got into this originally as an inbox collector. Like I didn't really open anything, and I was like, all right, I'm going to open a couple Black Series figures because I want to try to photograph them. And then I started painting them, and then I'm building dioramas, and it just snowballs into this giant monstrosity that I've lost control over. And here we are.
I will say though that when you do paint over your figures or like add like little touches of detail, it does feel like you start to own that collection a little more.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you photograph it and it looks good, it really, you know, it really it's a good feeling that once you see, like, you know, the sculpt comes out, like you showed the Doomsday, I was like, oh man, I really got to paint that. And I'm going to be in paint mode for a while. I got a bunch of head sculpts that I got to paint.
You got a bunch of head sculpts to paint.
It is fulfilling because it does make it a personal piece too. It almost this is clear. This is not anybody else's Doomsday. It's mine because of this whatever I did to it. And I can tailor it to the way I like to shoot and how I want it to look. And it's been incredibly rewarding because I've learned a ton. Like if you look at the things that I first repainted, you know, it's everybody, you have to go on that journey and you can never really start at the end. You have to be really bad first. And I was so bad. But I was also having a tremendous amount of fun while being bad. It didn't matter what the actual output was. I was still having immense fun. But I learned a lot. And so every mistake that I made, I tried to learn from. And I think I've probably made all of the mistakes now. And then I've gotten to a point where I'm happy with the process that I have for weathering a figure, and it looks like the way I would want it to look in a shot. So I can get them done relatively quickly now. And I don't really second guess myself. And I've applied the same process to spaceships as I do figures. I'm not talented enough to do full repaints. Like there are some people that do like crazy stuff. The base figure has to kind of have, you know, the majority of it there before I can really try to bring it across the finish line. I'm not a full-on customizer, and I think that the skill it takes to see how you can kit bash and stuff like that is impressive, and I don't possess those skills.
I love what Red Dog here, and I never looked at it this way. So like, just the idea of this is it does make more sense now, right? It makes more sense in why,
this is why I do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you always say that, look, you had your reasons for doing it too, right? Somebody put time into it, and you just want to, make it, add to it, and I think that I always thought that was
I don't want to be,
reason.
like I don't want to be disappointed. Like I told you, like it's Wolverine. I was really looking forward to it, but then when I found out and it had no boot swivel, I'm like, oh.
So you just added
ripped off the boot
swivel.
Done.
Yeah, easy.
See, that's something I think if I were to try to do that, I would end up with a broken Wolverine.
Well, you have to have a broken Wolverine.
Yeah.
You have
he would remain that way for me, unfortunately. It would just be like, oh, he doesn't have a boot anymore.
This is the multiverse version where he lost his leg. Custom figures become much more personal and unique to your style, also changing the narrative of the character. It's so much more fun and one of my favorite parts of the hobby for sure. It's a great way, and Collector 425 saying so true, makes your collection stand out more. I love it. It's a great way to look at it.
I don't really shoot anything unless I matte clear coat it first, even if I don't repaint it.
Steve says there's no numbers on his figure, so he doesn't know where to paint. So, that's a good way to put it too. All right. What else? Sean, what else should we know? What else do you want to share with us? We're quickly approaching the last few minutes here, but obviously we want to get as much time as we can from you. We be back on, and we'll just teach us a masterclass. Maybe I think next time you're on, we got to get in the garage. Now I want in the garage.
Deal. So yeah, I've done one live from the garage where I showed off the hangar diorama, and I made sure it was clean before that. I mean, it's clean. It's clean 90%
It's a
of the time.
workspace. It's what
Yeah.
it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
get
mean,
that.
that's where all the insanity happens. So
Yeah. So I know
yeah,
that Macho, you always like to ask this question, so I think this is a good question too. I know that you said that Saturday morning's kind of your time. Do you do that like also the stay up late and do the 3 a.m. because nobody's bothering you type of thing, or
I like to have a shot. I wake up very early, so I do tend to go to bed earlier. Um, but I don't mind staying up later if I'm working to edit something. I usually don't stay in the garage late shooting because then if I'm in the garage too long shooting, I need to step away from it. I won't keep punishing
No.
myself to try to get something that isn't working. I am, if it does take me a long time to get a shot, it's because I've taken frequent breaks and I'm trying to unlock something that I haven't been able to figure out yet, or to find something that I'm happy with. I will stay up late and edit something if I'm having a good time editing something and it's almost done, and the kids have gone to bed and I can just kind of goof around on the laptop. I'll do that.
You've hit that flow state at that point, so you're already seeing the finish line.
Yeah, and I want to get to it so that I can go to bed, because so there have been times when I can't sleep because I haven't gotten the shot.
Got it.
And I have a crappy night's sleep. This hasn't happened in a long time. And then I wake up the next morning and I go in and I try to do it. And it's varying degrees of success. So I try to be able to walk away. Sometimes I'll take a setup down and just say, just call it. Like, put a toe tag on it. It's done. Stop it.
12:05. It's dead.
Good night.
Steve says, Sean said he moonlights as a trainer. What should toy photographers do to stay in toy photo shape?
Deadlift.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Because you're leaning over the table.
Yep.
There you go.
That is
You gotta
perfect.
have that posterior chain intact.
Unless you shoot on the floor like we've seen some of our friends
I don't
do.
know how you guys shoot on the floor. That's insane. My back would never allow me to do that.
My
That's
back and my
crazy.
knees,
Yeah, that's nuts.
Well, I like to show that when I shoot, for me, all of my toys are at the edge of the table because I'm kind of below the table shooting up at them. So I would have to be in a trench if I were shooting on there to dig a hole.
That's true. It would be really hard to get a lower angle if you're shooting on the floor. So
yeah,
stop shooting on the floor.
But that's also how Sean stays in great shape. He's out here digging trenches before each shot, and then he's got to fill it back in after. Part of the cleanup process.
Jackhammer the floor of the garage.
Yeah. Dom says if I shoot on the floor, I'm spending the rest of the day on the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
there is one shot that I did want to bring up too.
Let's do it.
Because this is the shot that I was trying to get you to, but then I kept stopping.
You kept stopping?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me know if it's a black screen or if you guys see it in the chat.
Chat, let us know if you're seeing a black screen.
I don't see it.
Okay. All right, take it out.
Okay.
Take it out. Let me see. Do you see this? You see this one? Sean?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. So then let me scroll down to that one.
It's up.
It's up. Let me scroll up to that one.
See, Mara says it's black screen.
It's black
it's
screen.
darkness.
All right, so like my life. My light has gone out, but I keep working. Let's see. Share screen. Let's try it again. View tab is StreamYard. This is all happening live, people. There we go. How about now?
I
can see it.
All right, here it is. I don't know, Sean. You apparently you're not showing up on my my feed enough. I don't know. The damn algorithm is keeping you away from me. So, all right, Machu, leave the conversation, and I shall flick through.
So, this is not only Photoshop. I saw that you did paint the edges of this thing, but like before I go over there, you cut this thing in half.
Yeah. I couldn't get it to stand. Like it was largely broken, and I had repainted it, and it was. I mean, I got a lot of joy out of it, but it couldn't stand. It just kept toppling over. So I was like,
you might as well just cut it in half.
I'm like, I gotta get
a natural progression.
I have another one.
I saw one of these on sale in GameStop, and I was like, man, I really want to try like one of those photos where you just chop it. Like
for a while, these were $25. There was the Walmart when it was the Walmart Black Series 3 3/4 exclusive. It's
We
the
don't
same
have
mold. They just keep
Walmart
reusing it.
here.
Yeah, we don't have a Walmart by us.
We have to go to Jersey.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just cut it in half, and I had to paint the edges orange so
Mhm.
that I could go over them in Photoshop with the same color, but I used like a linear dodge or something to help make it glow.
Yeah.
Because I'm not confident enough to go into just the cut walker and make it look like it's glowing without there being some sort of
Guide.
practical element to guide me
Right.
through it. My favorite part of the photo is the fact that I put Joey Tribbiani's face on the scout driver.
Did you really?
What? Oh, but there's no we can't. Can we see it?
I
Can't
can,
see it.
if you
I
zoom
posted
in.
it in my story. If you look at the main shot, you can. If you look at the face he's making,
Yeah. You can kind of
it's
make it out.
Joey doesn't share food.
It's like from when I can't remember. He found out that maybe it was that Rachel was pregnant or that Monica and Chandler were sleeping together. It doesn't matter. But he was making this face. I was like, I got to try to put the surprise on this guy's face.
So I was gonna say, do you follow any like miniature painters?
I do. I follow a lot of them. I recently made a reel of me making that terrain base that I just made, and I used the hashtag miniature in it. And I got reached out to and followed by a lot of miniature artists.
Oh, nice.
And my buddy paints Warhammer minifigs.
Yeah.
And so I've always been kind of enamored by the fact that they make these things look like they're glowing.
Exactly.
And they're not emitting any light.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will watch people paint minifigs, but it's incredibly daunting. It looks impossible. I don't know how they ever finish.
So like that's actually where I got a lot of my painting techniques from, is watching and learning, picking up how they, how these miniature painters paint these like little Warcraft figures. And even Mario has put me onto that, and that is how I've gotten most of my painting techniques lately.
Yeah.
But like I was gonna say, to get to get the glow on the orange on the ATST, you could actually do that practically with paints.
I love watching them paint it, and it just keeps getting brighter and brighter, and it just looks like it's a optical illusion,
right? And there's no light source that's giving it off.
Yeah, it's crazy. I learned a lot of my terrain techniques by watching people make model train sets, like all of that stuff. I watched this when I first got into toy photography. I wanted to make a big rock wall because I didn't really have any dioramas. And when we all start photographing toys, we don't know what we're doing. So we go outside because we don't have any dioramas or setups. So I wanted to make a rock wall, and I watched this guy make this big rock wall in his basement for his trains. I was like, oh, I'm going to try that.
This is the other thing I wanted to bring up before we
mixing the scale.
Sign off, was mixing the scale.
Yeah.
Right. So you have, is that the Hyperreal Vader?
Yes.
Yep. And then you have regular Black Series right behind it, and then you have TVC behind them.
Yeah.
And then what walker is that?
That's the 2005 Legacy Collection walker.
Okay.
So it's 1/18 scale.
Yeah. J-Shot, that's the one that you have, right?
I think mine might be older than that. I think I have like the Power of the Force.
Oh, okay.
Walker.
That one's like 2.5 feet tall. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
I love mixing scales because I love trying to make the photo or the landscape appear as large as I can make it look. And the best way for me to do that is by trying to make it mix the scales. So
that's so tiny. I was gonna say it's so tiny, and it looks so huge.
I took it on my phone. I took that with my phone.
Damn it! Stop it. All right. Well, that's enough of that then.
So another tip for people who use their phone, I know, like, I'll see people taking their phone out and they'll just take it like this or whatever. Or if
Yeah.
they're doing a wide shot, turn the phone upside down so the lens is closer to the ground.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just makes the toys, you get this great, like, kind of like distortion with the lens, and it makes it look huge. It makes it look huge. I shot the I never posted it. I shot the it's one of those, oh, here, yeah.
Look for the meh dump coming soon. I'm gonna coin that. Yeah.
Put it on your
I think
stories.
it's in my drafts folder. I'll show you my drafts folder.
It's the meh dump.
You won't be able to see it, but I shot that. You can't see it, but it's
No.
the
Is that the Imperial ship?
yeah.
The shuttle.
I shot it
The
with my
shuttle?
phone in the hangar, and I like the way that it looked. I like the way that it came out because it looks big. It looks big because I use my phone.
Steve Morrow's got the
You hear that? It
dump.
looks big because you use the phone.
There you go. All right, use the phone and it'll look big. That's what Sean said. That's the message
That's
you
right.
take away.
When you're sitting on the toilet, use your phone. It makes it look big.
And to quote Jay Shot from, was it Chat Migos? Measure from the base.
Measure from the base. You got to measure from the base. That's how you get the height on them. So there you go. After coffee with the creators in the San Diego Comic-Con house, you'll have meh dumps. It's true. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's how we should end on that. But Sean, dude, this was awesome, man. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
No, my pleasure.
Absolutely coming back, and we're absolutely gonna stream inside the garage. And
I'll be happy to.
We keep talking about doing like a live, show us how it's done on a live setup. So, I mean, I think it'd be great. And I always talk about like doing something where it's like you and Machu set up a shot together, and I'll just narrate as you guys are going, right? Like it would be fun to do something like that.
Yeah, because it's hard for me to set up a shot and like be right by the microphone.
Yeah, so I'll talk. I can talk. You guys can work, and I'll have snacks. It'll be perfect. So
sign me up.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you back on, and we will absolutely 100% see you at Legions Con. Making sure we got to set up the old podcast beforehand, but if it's happening, definitely gonna want you in that room on Friday night.
Awesome. So, I can't wait. That's the best weekend of the year for me. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is so much fun.
So Legions Con is quickly becoming my favorite, and I don't even Legion. So there you go. That's how good of a con it is. Rick Dom saying live setup at the content house. Yep, there's gonna be a bunch of live set. I was gonna say live setup. You're talking about shots, dude. There's gonna be a ton of shots there. Jay Shot is the National Geographic narrator for Toy Photographer. Yeah. Crikey, look at this one. Yeah, that's how
I think that should be a thing.
It's it's done.
Yeah.
Watch as the wild Machu takes his time to set the shot. But yeah, dude, thank you so much. You got anything coming up? Anything you're going to be at? Anything you want to promote? Latest lacrosse event people can see you at? Training sessions that are open if you're in Connecticut?
No. I am as far from a professional toy photographer as you could get, probably. I just living the dream, having fun. That's it.
If you are far from a professional toy photographer, my friend, I'm in a different galaxy. Machu, who do you got? You got anything going on?
I don't no Enablers tomorrow, so I think we're gonna do that next week. And I think I might go to that Wayne show on Sunday, so I'll be there. I know you can't make it, but you'll be there in spirit.
I will be there in spirit. I will be there in spirit for sure. I'm actually a little disappointed I haven't been to one of the weekend toy shows in a while, and definitely want to get back to it. So
all those vacations.
Oh, stop it. Definitely gonna hit that one up in August though, because they come every month. So August will be the next one for sure. Dom saying he will be selling in Wayne this weekend. So go to Wayne if you're looking for Dom. You doing wrestling figures specifically, or what do you got? So and Mad Beast Boy selling like 100 Lucy's. So
love them Lucy's.
There you go. Grab them Lucy's. Just like
100 for all the Lucy's, or just
100
like
for
Lucy's?
Yeah. Let's say so. But there you go. And don't forget, I will be on Grown Ass Man Toys this weekend. So on Sunday, the episode drops. Had a great time with Real Comrade, Collector 425, and Marvelous Shot. So thank you guys so much for having me on there. And I think we're going to be doing a giveaway. So, a little preview. Make sure you watch. We'll figure out how to win yourself a 2023 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. We'll just leave it at that. I don't want to ruin the episode. But, Sean, again, one more time, thank you so much for being on with us. And
Thank you.
Thank you so much to everybody who's watching live. And if you're watching on the replay, we appreciate the hell out of you. So, go out there, make some content, be proud of yourselves. And Matsu, roll that outro, man. Let's get out of here. We gotta go blow some stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah.